Well, because see, Algae Rhythm convinced all the other characters to go hang out on other planets.
Why?
Well, because this way we could go visit a bunch of our movies as they get recruited.
But like, based on the story, why would he have done that?
I just told you.
Gotcha. So, you have a Space Jam sequel for me?
Yes, sir, I do. And I figure we could get LeBron James in this one and also really try to capture the spirit of the original.
Oh, like in the sense that it was one of the most popular children's movies of its decade?
No, in the sense that it was based on a commercial.
Oh, gotcha. So what's it gonna be a commercial for?
Ourselves.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I really want kids to finish this movie and turn to their parents and say, you know, Warner Bros. Entertainment Inc. really is my favorite multinational mass media and entertainment conglomerate. Seems realistic enough, yeah, so what's the plan?
Oh, well, you know all the
Just like
stuff
that.
we own? I'm familiar. We put it in the movie.
We put it in the movie?
We put it in the movie. Oh, very cool. What else are we gonna do?
Oh, practically nothing else. Yeah, in pretty much every scene there's gonna be recognizable Warner Bros. Property or someone's gonna say Warner Bros. Out loud.
Amazing. Sounds like the cinematic equivalent of scrolling through our Wikipedia page.
Exactly. So LeBron is trying really hard to get his kids to follow in his footsteps, right? But his son Dom likes making video games more than he likes playing basketball.
Okay.
And then one day LeBron and Dom are invited to Warner Bros. To meet with some studio executives.
That's my job.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm tight.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so the studio execs try to convince LeBron to leverage his fame and shove him into popular existing franchises as a kind of soulless revival cash grab kind of thing.
That does sound like me.
But he thinks it's a bad idea, so the algorithm behind the idea kidnaps him and his son.
The algorithm?
Yeah, see, the bad guy in this movie is this algorithm in the Warner Bros. Serververse called Algae Rhythm, and I figure we could get Don Cheadle to play him.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been in a Warner Bros. Movie, so it's not confusing casting.
Ocean's 11. It's okay, though. Nothing really matters.
That's a good point. So anyway, the algorithm's whole thing is that he wants fame and recognition, and since LeBron turned his movie idea down, he's pissed.
So what does he do?
He challenges him to a game of basketball.
I guess that's a logical step to take.
It might be. So he kidnaps LeBron's son, and then he sends LeBron flying into the serververse, and he's like,
I mean, hopefully we could get a better scream out of him than that.
We'll get whatever he gives us on the first take. He's a busy man.
That's fair.
And then for the next big chunk of the movie, he's gonna be animated.
Why?
So he can do a huge chunk of the movie in a single day in a sound booth instead of a full month on set.
That's fair.
So LeBron gets to Looney Tunes World, but Bugs Bunny's the only one there.
How come?
Well, because see, Algae Rhythm convinced all the other characters to go hang out on other planets.
Why?
Well, because this way we could go visit a bunch of our movies as they get recruited.
But like, based on the story, why would he have done that?
I just told you.
Gotcha.
So LeBron wants to
I
get
just
really
told you.
strong characters to help the team,
Not too
right?
much
Like the
going on
Iron
there.
Giant and Superman and stuff.
Smart.
But Bugs Bunny just wants his friends back, so he starts flying to the planets they're on.
So they visit our movies and our TV shows and things that we own?
They do. They go to Harry Potter World. The Granny is in The Matrix. Elmer Fudd is in Austin Powers.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of thing people go crazy for in the early 2000s.
That is when I wrote these, and I haven't changed them a bit. So let's hope children today are really into that slow-mo Trinity scene from The Matrix, you know, in the late 90s.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, and also they end up face-to-face with the Justice League, but Daffy Duck did something silly, so when LeBron's like, do you guys play basketball? They just stare at him.
But I mean, if LeBron really explains to them that his son's in danger, surely the Justice League would help.
Oh, it's too late. We're already off to the next Warner Bros.
It's too
reference.
late.
Oh, okay, gotta keep moving, I guess.
Yeah, you can't just stop the movie because the solution to the movie's main problem presents itself.
True.
So anyway, eventually it's time for the game, and Algae
I guess
Rhythm
you
has
can't.
Dom
Sure,
playing on
okay.
his team along with a bunch of other players they created together.
How'd they do that?
Well, see, Dom has this borderline magical scanning technology on his phone that he'd use to scan players into his game that he's making.
How does he have that technology?
Unclear. So then Algae brings virtually every single Warner Bros. Character into the audience of the game. I mean, Game of Thrones people are there, Pennywise the Clown.
Okay, are these characters gonna be like in character?
Kind of, but also really interested in watching
Are
the
they?
game and also kind of dancing but interacting with each other too.
Oh, this raises a ton of questions.
Yeah, I know. Please don't ask any of them.
Oh, okay, I won't.
Yeah, all you really need to know is that it's going to look like a sea of cosplayers going to their
Yes.
first Comic-Con and not
Yes.
quite nailing the whole thing yet.
Yes.
Got it.
And then Al's going to use Dom's technology to
literally
also
what it
scan
is.
in a bunch of people from the real world.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
If he was just looking for recognition, wouldn't zapping a bunch of real people into a computer accomplish that? I mean, why even play basketball at this point?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, then let's just skip the basketball in this Space Jam movie then.
Well, no, there should be some basketball.
Then I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about this guy's plan.
Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing.
So then he reveals that if LeBron loses this game, everybody's gonna get trapped in the serververse forever.
Oh no, everybody must be terrified.
They are terrified, and then Dom enters, so they all cheer for him.
But if he wins, they all get stuck in the serververse forever.
Yeah, they all cheer anyway for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So then the game starts, and the Goon Squad scores over 1,000 points, because you get points for style and stuff, whatever.
How does the scoring system work?
No idea, it's just gonna be all over the place.
Oh, it's gonna be hard for the Yannis to feel any stakes if the scoring is arbitrary.
Actually, yep.
Okay.
Then we're gonna take a little break so Porky Pig can rap battle no one.
Sure, that may as well happen.
It's gonna.
And so LeBron's son doesn't feel bad at all that if he wins, he'll trap thousands of people and ruin their lives?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
And we're also gonna have the characters
it's
say
fake.
things like, well, that happened, and Granny's gonna say, haters gonna hate.
Grannies don't say that.
I know, and then there's a guy who can slow down time, so he uses that power to do that Quicksilver thing from X-Men, except, you know, extremely derivative and not as good.
If he can do that, why doesn't he just do that constantly?
Oh, well, he's gonna try to do it again later, but he can't, because Granny's from the Matrix.
All right, man.
And then eventually Bugs Bunny's gonna sacrifice himself by doing this glitchy move that leads to him getting deleted, but it allows the good team to win.
Very brave.
Yeah, and so then everybody goes back to the real world.
Are there any consequences for Warner Bros. For creating an algorithm that almost trapped thousands of people inside a server?
Nope.
That's what I like to hear.
Nope.
And then Bugs
Like
Bunny
it
gets
never happened.
deleted and dies.
Oh, very sad. It's gonna be hard to end on a happy note with Bugs Bunny dying.
Actually, it's gonna be super
There we
easy.
go.
Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back up on Earth, Bugs Bunny shows up next to LeBron, and he's fine.
What? How?
I don't care.
Okay, how did he get to the real world?
Unclear, but he brings all the Looney Tunes with him.
Well, what's the explanation for how all that happened?
Well, sir, the movie's over now, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, I
don't
won't.
care.
So what do you think?
Well, it sounds like a ton of fun, although I do think maybe we should keep Pepe Le Pew out of this movie. That character's now kind of,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but other than that, every WB character's fair game.
I don't see why not.
I already know. I knew they were going to go that route with the guys from Clockwork Orange because you see them multiple times in the movie, like just in the background, which everybody is in the background, and they're all in character in the background. Like, why aren't they doing the things they do in their movies or TV shows? I don't know. It was just kind of confusing. But if you haven't seen it yet, check out my advanced screening. You can see that up there. I do a few things in there that I think you might enjoy. But let me know. But this movie was complete chaos, just a lot of craziness. There were some fun moments in there, like I like the scene where Dom gets his little upgrade to his character and Algae Rhythm helps him with that, and like that was a cool scene. There was other cool scenes as far as a basketball piece, but I feel like the basketball sequence overall was some of the most boring parts of the movie. Like, I mean, for me, it just wasn't as exciting as seeing him go to the other movie areas. But I do have something that's up for debate, and we can talk about it in the comments. Like, I saw something on Twitter and Facebook, and somebody said this movie is for kids, it's cheesy. Like, if you're complaining you're an adult, this movie isn't for you. And I gotta say, I 100% disagree. While it is made for kids as well, it's more fashioned towards adults because you have all these movies that are things that we grew up with. Harry Potter, The Matrix, like things that our kids, for instance, and probably even some teenagers, don't even know about. Or, you know, they weren't around when they came out for us. So you're going back to all these movies, Casablanca, all these films, and you're having all these, you know, lines in the movie that are just so lame and cheesy, but it's things that we said back in the day. So it is pointed towards us. You know, it's pointed towards us. And you got the Looney Tunes in there. Kids today aren't watching Looney Tunes like that. And from that aspect, I believe that it was for us, and it failed from a nostalgia piece. Not that it had to be, you know, just like the first one, but because you're doing basketball again, and you're calling it Space Jam again, you got to include something in there, and the whole Michael B. Jordan little fake out was lame. But overall, I had some fun with the movie. Watched it twice so far. I had more fun with it the second time than I did the first time. But it's yeah, it's not gonna be one of those movies where it's like over time it has a cult following or a nostalgic factor to it. I don't think. Not like the first one. The first one I feel was a better scenario because Michael Jordan had never been in a movie before. Before that, and even after that, he's never been in a movie. LeBron James has been in other movies, you know, as side characters. He has a production company. Like, he's trying to get in that space. He's actively trying to do that stuff. Michael Jordan doesn't really care. He did it, but that's not like a, you know, a focus for him. So it was a big deal that he was in a movie with Looney Tune characters. But that's just me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm doing too much. I'm talking too much about this because it's Space Jam and I shouldn't put the brain cells too much thought about it. But hey, That's just how I talk about stuff. Let me know your thoughts on Space Jam: A New Legacy in the comments below. Let's talk about this pitch meeting. Ryan George killed it, as always, once again. I think he did a good job on this by bringing certain things from the first Space Jam pitch meeting to this one, but making it its own, which, again, I feel like that's what Space Jam should have done, is, bring some things from the first movie, but make it your own overall. They did a little bit with the video game piece, but again, I was expecting something a little bit different. But let's talk about it. To my Hypercrew members, Brian Tidwell, Slepnir, Steve O, Kasich013, Portal on Mobile 44, Dash Milner, and Daniel Lopez. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Hypercrew. You get a verbal shout out by me in every video. Also, if you are interested in memberships, hit that join button down below. You'll see more information down there. To all my members and my subscribers, thank you guys so much for tuning in each day. And I've had a couple of hiccups here and there because of the job, but I'm trying to do my best to keep things going and keep it fresh and keep with the advanced screenings as well. But while you're still here, hit that like button. It does really help out the channel. Lets me know what you guys want to see. You can also check out our most popular videos right down here. You can see our advanced screening for Space Jam: A New Legacy right over here. If you've seen all that already, then I'll see you guys in the comments. We'll talk about this.